Recording in progress.
Good morning, everyone. Today's topic of discussion is static mixing of impression materials and the principle on which it is based, that is flow division, right? So now, uh, there are three basic, as we all know, there are three basic methods of mixing of impression materials. One is the manual method, the other is static mixing, and third is mechanical mixing. Now, manual method is again very simple, which we all know. We express express equal lengths of the base and catalyst paste onto our glass slab, mix them uniformly, till a uniform color is reached with the help of a cement spatula, right? And when that happens, when we've mixed it well, we load it onto the tray, take the impression. That's manual mixing. When we have mechanical mixing, if you're not doing it manually, you do it with the help of a motor, right? So there's a specialized device in which is motor driven. You just turn on the switch, a motor or a turbine mixes the base paste and the catalyst paste. You take your impression tray, put it underneath the mixing apparatus. The uniformly mixed impression material is expressed onto the tray, and you load the tray and take the impression. Now the third and a very important method, especially for light body and syringe viscosity or wash consistency impression, is the method of static mixing. Now this is a source of confusion. The students ask us that as to what is the principle and how do we get a uniform mix when we are actually not agitating or mixing the base paste and the catalyst paste together? So how does this happen? So for this, let us try to first of all understand the apparatus or the instrumentarium that we use. So we have a gun, right? So we have a plunger on this gun, number one. Let us just disassemble this and try to understand this. So this is basically the gun, which has a trigger. This is a trigger, and it has a plunger. So when I keep pulling the trigger, the plunger keeps moving forward. Now, if I attach the cartridge, which has got two tubes, one is the base paste, the other is the catalyst paste. Now attach it well to this gun, right? And I fit this well here. Now, when I'm pulling the trigger, the plunger is forcing both the base paste and the catalyst paste into the mixing tip. Now, this is where the part goes interesting, right? Now, this mixing tip is where the principle of static mixing is going to take place. That is known as flow division. Static mixing is based on the principle of flow division. Now, what is that? Basically, if I am to just again disassemble this mixing tip from the cartridge system, this mixing tip is basically consisting of 11 to 12 elements, which are nothing but helix. They are helices, just like DNA, right? So one is a right-handed helix, the other is a left-handed helix, and they are present mutually perpendicular to each other, right? So what happens is that when I inject the base paste and the catalyst paste from one end, the first element would divide the impression material into two streams. Then the leading edge of the second element, which is a opposite sided. So if the first element is a left-handed helix, then the leading edge of the right-handed helix would further divide the base paste and the catalyst paste into two. So 2 divides into 4, which divides into again another half, that's 8, then 16, and so on. So what happens is that because of this flow division, when the material comes from the opposite end, right, ready to take the impression, it's a largely striated material. Now, depending on the number of elements, which in a standard mixing tip are 11 or 12. So the number of striations of a properly mixed material would be 2 raised to the power of n, that is number of elements. So if it's 11 elements, that is 11 helices, then it would be 2048 striations, right? 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by 2 and so on till 11. If it's 12 striations, it would be 4096. So despite not mixing it mechanically or manually, because you're giving so many striations to the material, like 2048 or 4096, such heavily or largely striated material is considered a uniform mix of impression material, which is ready to take the impression, right? So we can just see this with the help of a PowerPoint slide. Also, I've shown this to you physically. Let us just try to appreciate this with the help of a PowerPoint as well. So I'll share the screen here. And yeah, right. So this is what I was talking about. Let us just see the, yeah. So this is the mixing gun that we talked about. This is the trigger, right? This is the trigger. Then we have the plungers here, right? This is the cartridge, which consists of the base paste and the catalyst paste. And this is the mixing tip. Now, if I am, see, my mixing tip was filled with the mixed impression material, right? So we did not have that translucency to see inside. Now, if I am to cut open this mixing tip and see the elements, now here you can appreciate a left-handed helix, a right-handed helix, a left-handed helix, a right-handed helix, left, right. And how many number of elements? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. So 2 raised to the power 12 is 4096. So the impression material that comes out from the opposite end of this mixing tip consists of 4096 striations. That is considered a uniform mix, right? So I hope that is clear. And this should be all for today. Best wishes to all of you. Thank you.